What is up, guys? This is Alpine Gremlin with my very first World of Tanks tutorial featuring the jack of all trades, how to play the medium tank. What is the medium tank? It is any team's primary supporting vehicle. It has good all-around characteristics such as guns, armor, and speed. However, this means it has many roles to fill and therefore requires an adaptive and quick-witted player to play effectively during battle. Some of the medium tank's roles are as follows: supporting larger allies, securing strategic positions first, harassing tank destroyers and heavy tanks, protecting artillery from light tanks, scouting when needed, flanking enemies and finding weak spots, and long-distance sniping support. So, the medium tank is probably one of the most difficult vehicles for any player to adapt to in World of Tanks. Their versatility makes them stand out from more specialized vehicles such as tank destroyers, heavy tanks, artillery, and light tanks. This versatility and these multiple roles that a medium tank has to fill can sometimes confuse and daunt a player at times. One of the most difficult transitions in a medium tank is the fact that you have to know when your role changes. Now, because you are so versatile, you have an advantage and disadvantage as compared to every other tank type in the game. You don't have the heavy armor and gun to compete with toe-to-toe engagements with heavy tanks. You don't have the concealment bonus or the accuracy of a tank destroyer. You don't have the long-range fire ability of an artillery, and you don't have the speed and small size that is required for constant scouting on the battlefield. However, what you do have is a fast-firing gun and high speed for your size. Most medium tanks are actually relatively small, meaning that they bridge the gap between heavies and light tanks, and therefore have an advantage of some kind over every vehicle in the game. Knowing when to take advantage of these, however, is one of the most confusing things that players have to master. Now, this battle, we're going on the southern flank here, and we're just part of the team. We got guys pushing up the middle towards the center hill there, and we have people going up further north. We make our first contact down here. This E-50 is going to make a bad choice. He's going to rush out there, and he's going to get completely destroyed by this T-62 and his allies. My teammates get a shot into him, and then I finish him off. However, now it is time for my role. My first role of the game is now going to take into effect. I'm going to be providing sniper support. You can see those two guys on the hill pushing up, and they have been reporting that there are enemies on the hill. So I'm going to use this position here in order to get some quick shots on them and to support their advance. The C-50 is my first target. I get a shot into his side armor, but not at the moment because he goes into cover. So part of being a sniper is being patient. So we're going to wait a little bit until he shows himself again. You'll notice there isn't too much other activity on the map yet. There are a couple people still on that hill, but they're out of my line of sight. However, the E-50 does come down, and he's trying to get a spot on us, but he's stopped. That's a big mistake. I'm going to get an easy shot onto him, so he didn't quite do what he expected to set out to do. However, here's another target, a Patton, as spotted by my team. I'm going to get a good shot into his side here, and then my team finishes him off. Third target, a T-54, another Tier 9 medium tank. He is taking cover behind the barn, but he does come out. You notice his frontal armor is to me. This is going to be a difficult shot to make, and I actually missed 2 of my 3 shots. He's got a very small lower glacis, and my gun can't penetrate his frontal armor. So I'm trying to shoot at this lower glacis here, but I miss. It goes under him. Both times I fire a shell, and it doesn't connect, as you can see, because he's still at full health. However, now he's turned my side to me. Big mistake, by the way. So that my shell easily can go through his side armor. And this is for any tank. Never show your side armor to anybody, because all that is doing is giving them an easier time in penetrating that armor. If your strong suit is like the T-54, he's got sloped and relatively thick armor, then always keep that facing your opponent to minimize your damage if possible. Now look around here. If you notice my Object 704, he is going to begin moving up a little bit. The battle has been going on for a little while now. There's been some enemies. They've been destroyed. We can see generally where some of them are. So he feels bold. He feels like it's safe enough to go out. But you'll see, however, that it's not. I'm going to have to use my my reaction here. My role has now changing. You see, he's got that VK has a perfect shot on my Object 704's flank. So my new task is to support the heavier allies by protecting their flanks. In doing this, I can't win a slugfest with this guy. So I'm going to use my medium tank's speed and agility in order to get alongside him and get to his weak points, and also to distract him and harass him while my Object 704 can go ahead and help the damage as well. Here you can see he's got a slow gun, and he just misses me. He goes over my rear there. Now he's got a really long reload time. Mine is probably less than half of that. So I can get another shot on him before he even knows what's going on. I get behind him, he's done. And I ended up saving my Object 704 in the process. However, you see I'm going to break another important rules of the medium tank. Never, ever stop like this. As you can see, I get hit by an artillery. Always stay mobile when possible. If you don't, you're just going to be exposing yourself to unnecessary fire, and artillery absolutely licks its lips at a stationary target like me. I was still spotted from that VK. So he obviously knew clearly where I was. He saw me turning and saw his opening. He took it and took a good chunk of my health away. But as you can see, it didn't do any critical damage in the way of my crew or my modules. So I'm not going to complain. You can see up there, I'm about to take on another role. I am now the best suited tank for scouting that's alive at the moment. So I'm going to fill the role of scout. I have the agility and the speed, not as much as a real scout, but I can still use my superior view range and agility and cover in order to effectively spot the enemy targets for my team. The noose is tightening around this enemy team, so I'm going to weed out the rest of the guys. I designate this E100, however. He kind of disappears before my team can really get any good shells on him, but I'm going to try and snuff out the artillery. But to my surprise, it comes to me, a Bat-Shat 155. This guy's pretty dangerous, though. He's got a turret and an autoloader on that thing, so he's got another shell ready. Just as I'm about to shoot, he destroys my gun, but I use my repair kit and finish him off. And then one of my artillery pieces, you can see there was a second arty there. I spotted him, and our artillery took out him as well, that last arty. At this point, I'm going to kind of lay low. You can see there's three tanks left in the enemy team, and this E100's kind of looking right at me, so I quickly get back behind cover because I am not going to win a toe-to-toe engagement with him. But I notice my team is closing in. They just took out those two other tanks, and now I'm going to wait for them to start focusing on the E100 so I can be a little harassment. He starts turning his attention towards the bigger guys, so now's my chance. My gun is not powerful enough to penetrate him head-on, however, he is now preoccupied with other things, so this is my perfect opportunity to go ahead and hit weak spots. My gun isn't the strongest, but it can still cut through his side and rear armor, which is what I'm doing right here, taking down his health, helping my team finish him off just a little bit quicker. I'm going to fire one. Doesn't do any damage, but my object gets the last shot. And then that is game. Pretty clean battle. We got them all. And we were even on the cap. For me personally, it was a pretty good game. 2 times experience bonus. I got around 3,000 credits. 3,000 experience. 58,000 credits, and I spent 7,000 on repair. You can see I did a bunch of damage to enemies, destroyed 4 and got the sniper medal. So overall, a very good battle. And anyway, that concludes this medium tank tutorial. I hope you guys that are either new to medium tanks or have been playing them and wanted to get better now understand and can see how you're supposed to play them. So thanks for watching, guys.